everybody. I go by many names. Most know me as MadSpill. My name is Maurice, also Adonis. I'm a father, DJ, MC, writer, multi-hyphenate artist. Yeah, glad to be here and ready to share my story.
My husband. Okay, how have you personally supported or witnessed support for a Black mother on her breastfeeding journey?
I would say it's great being here with you. Just let me throw that out there. With you and your journey, and just in general, even with family members, I think the best way that I've found natural to be of support to moms has been to let them find their rhythm, like stepping back and trusting that the mom knows what she's doing. With my older kid's mother, I found that in my youth, it was harder to let that happen because there was so much, I guess, fear of error. You know, like we didn't know what we were doing, but we were able to be honest about it. Yeah. So, you know, a lot of hovering. I'm like, are you okay? Do you need anything? Is he good? But learning through that, I think stepping back and letting the mother and the baby just do what they do has created a better flow in this season.
Absolutely. Thank you. What cultural or generational beliefs around breastfeeding have influenced your family's practices?
That's a good question. Something about the term children are to be seen, not heard, comes to mind when I hear that question, because it doesn't necessarily apply to infants and newborns. And yet, when the baby cries and all the aunties are in the space, it's almost unspoken. This tone changes in the room where everyone's like, put a boob in the baby's mouth, like right now, or you gotta go. There's very little time for the adjustment or for everyone to like acclimate to feeding, I guess, in general. I've noticed a shift, like just a very chaotic ripple that happens that I think is unnecessary. But, you know, I know that my perception is not the only one in the room. So, yeah, that term of like, oh my gosh, just like people saying like, shut that baby up, you know, it's just an instantaneous response that I've noticed. I don't always feel that way, but I know that others do, even if they won't say it out loud. It's almost like a flight or fight response. Yeah. And it's like the mom's job to just like respond almost robotically. Yeah. Feed the baby or you got to go. And it's kind of painful to watch. Like it's uncomfortable to be around, to witness, even as the dad or the, you know, my sister doesn't have kids yet, but the friend or nephew in a space to witness that. It's like, dang, you can't really do anything but support.
Yeah. Do you feel like that shows up for you personally too? Like if you're in a public space with a baby and maybe like I'm not around or something like that, do you feel that same sort of pressure that you speak of? I
do. I feel like you mentioned something the other day actually with Kwame. You're saying that you kind of enjoy when he disrupts public spaces. Like you get this satisfaction, this like primal satisfaction of like, yes, like he's disrupting the matrix. Yeah. This needs to happen. Like the status quo has to be disrupted. You know, some places are just too comfortable. Everyone's just doing the same thing. And so I'm trying to embody that more. Letting children be children and not feeling like every sound they make is a disruption in a public space, especially if they're hungry. Right. Like they are expressing hunger, they're expressing human feelings. Let them get it out. At least, you know, let them just get it out, and then we can figure out how to like address it. Right. Yeah.
What role do you believe fathers, grandparents, and extended family play in creating a healing and supportive environment for breastfeeding mothers?
I think asking questions is important. Figuring out what she needs. Everyone thinks they know everything, whether they want to admit it or not. Everybody thinks they know what the mom needs, or they're not asking nothing at all. They don't even check in. It's a lot of like, how's the baby? How's the baby? How's the baby? Very little, how's mom? And what does mom need to breastfeed the baby? Like the baby could be great, nourished, but it's all transmuting from her to them if she's not getting the care she needs. And I find there's a huge gap in care and questions and the curiosity even. Like no one seems to care. From my scope, very little care is taken in the village of mom after baby has arrived.
Yeah.
So the extended family, fathers, especially fathers too, just ask those questions, figure out what she needs to produce better milk, to produce more milk, to produce less. If she's, I don't know, like just ask questions and figure out like where her head is at. So the best outcome can be had for the two of them and not just so much focus on the baby.
Yeah. Period. Okay. What do you think our community needs more of to better support Black mothers who choose to breastfeed? You kind of just touched on that a little bit.
I'd say spaces. I'm biased because I love spaces. I like co-work spaces, rooms like this that should be integrated into the whole foundation of not just the city, like just society, period, like more policy around safe spaces for breastfeeding, laws and, you know, things that need to be just like stamped into how we move as a people. I think that's a good place to start. Just having safe spaces, period, would be foundational for a lot of moms who don't know where to go and they need to sit down and reboot or feed their baby. Like kind of going back to the first question, I think it was the first question of like the response to, you know, breastfeeding in public and how other people respond to that sound is, it can be ear-wrenching for some. And they're like, oh my gosh, I can't focus. Get out of here. Well, where do I go?
Right.
Like there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So if there was a space to go, that would solve a lot of problems. And now the whole ecosystem feels relief.
Right. Absolutely. Can you share a moment when you saw healing, emotional, cultural, or generational, take place through support for mother or child?
Recently at DBA's Mother's Blessing, this isn't a paid ad or anything, but like I had to throw this out there because it was very recent and I DJ'd it, and just witnessing that was awesome. It seemed like generationally healing to see the moms, their mothers, their best friends, sisters, cousins all come together for them. And even through like your birth was beautiful, like having so much support that came through. Even in the forms that it fell through, it was like the people that were there were so dedicated to being there. Yeah. The people just like sitting, waiting, knowing like
for days.
For 3 days. It's just like, you gotta really love this person to be sitting here waiting for a baby to be born. You know? I mean, but even, I don't know, like I have so many examples. I feel blessed to have so many examples that it's hard to give a very like cohesive and straightforward answer. I feel like there has been examples of healing all around me throughout my childhood. Like even my birth story, like my mom's birth story, birthing me, was dope. Like, and I love hearing her tell that story. She expressed so much like strength and ease and confidence in that moment. The whole journey, her whole pregnancy was beautiful. Like shouts out to my dad for whatever he did to sponsor that beautiful situation. Yeah, they were super healthy at the, I would say it was probably the peak of like their health and their youth was like having me. And for me to be part of that, I feel like is the epitome of the answer, low key. Like it's hard to give one moment. I feel like I've been around a lot of that, which gives me, I guess, some justification or whatever to have witnessed a lot of hardship too. Like there's a lot of polarity there, witnessing a lot of injustice and pain and trauma too around the same topic. So I'm grateful to have the perspective, I guess, of like both sides.
Awesome. That's all we got for you.
Okay, cool.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it was great to be here.